Well, no, it wouldn't, because this is just money going out. It doesn't matter who bought those shares. That's not extra money into the football.
Self-preservation, that's all it was.
Well, you say it's self-preservation, and you can argue the same. And I don't want to go over this because we should be looking forward, not going backwards. But you can argue the same. You can argue the same thing about Mo. Mo wanted to buy the shares so that he could get in and get his 51%. There's no doubt about that. He didn't offer full price for the shares, as you know, which people have been talking about before, and I'll text to him. He didn't. He made a decision to A, offer only £40,000 for the shares, and B, not even guarantee that he would pay Broxap for those shares, only when he got a 51% majority. So that's why Broxap backed off and decided to burn in the hands with two in the bush and sold to the board at par. That's exactly what happened.
After the floor again, outside the question about restoration of
Yeah.
he said he knew the vote was going to be close, so we bought the share. So that's being again, everything what the shareholders are, that's nothing but self-preservation.
Well, I can't comment on that. I wasn't outside. I wasn't part and parcel of those talks. I was there, of course, before the game when it didn't come up. But you can argue this either way, can't you? You can argue and say, well, Mo wanted to do it so he could get control, and we wanted to do it because we would rather have those shares in house. And you can argue that, but the point is, it's water under the bridge, it's gone now, it's historic, it's not going to change, so we need to move on. And you know, I really mean that. There's no point dragging up everything that's gone on over the last 12 months.
So, before you do, Mike, can I just clarify something? I want Mike to clarify something. When Black and Gold started, there was an objective to remove the Vale of the 2001 board. At the present moment in time, if we accept that Bill Grant and Glenn Oliver are going, there's only one member left, and that is Mike, who I think potentially would be sent out. Can you confirm, Mike, that whether you would personally back the re-election of any of the directors who have been forced off the board?
No. Simple as that.
On to my own personal question.
Yeah.
You mentioned a little bit earlier on that season tickets were approximately 300 down on last year.
About that, yeah.
To be quite honest, you lost all my faith in you when you came out with that comment. That is nothing but a fragrant lie. I mean, the figures up to now prove that point. The gate on Saturday, yesterday, was over 1,000 down on the previous year. And the fact of the matter is, the truth is, there's probably 300 people in here who haven't renewed season tickets. And there's a lot more. We've got to be open and transparent. And killing people have bought tickets when they haven't. And let me point out, Paddy made the comment to Mark Rutter, who was the person who organised Starving Out in the first place, whose idea it was. He knows that you admitted Starving Out is hurting you. You've now reneged on that. And my own belief, and the other people can make their own decision. If I can't believe you on that, what can we believe you on?
Where have I reneged on what I've said before?
You said that you're only 300 season tickets down on last season. I do not believe that.
Yeah,
I don't believe
it. The figure, no, I didn't say, I said between 300 and 400. You can listen back to what I said.
Well, there's 400.
Okay, there's between 300 and 400 season. If anyone wants to come into the club to verify that position, they can. No, it does not include. Just one second.
It's a really good point because it confused me a short while ago because I kept hearing this figure of over 4,000 season tickets last year. 4-2, 4-3, 1-3. But when I looked at all the books and the accounts, it included free season tickets. Ones we gave to staff for various reasons. There were an awful lot of free season tickets in that figure. The figure that Mike's given you is sold season tickets. So in terms of the season tickets down that people are actually paying for, we're around about 300 to 400 down, depending on how we did yesterday and today.
Well, I'll go along
Mike,
with that one.
can I just say, if you would like to...
No, I'd rather
If you like a government-
I'd rather look at the bank statements, what's been
Yeah.
paid into the bank.
If you would like to come into the club and meet with me, you can go into the accounts department and we'll show you exactly what the sales are. Radio Stoke came in some time ago and looked at those figures and they were verified. So I can assure you that that is the figure.
Those figures need verified against the bank. But anyway, I will let that one go. The second part is, you just said you want to speak to Mark Sims about, trying to reopen negotiations to bring him on board, which to me would be a major step forward for yourself. We've got a lot of The point I want to make, and this is no disrespect to you, Mike, you can talk to Mark Sims till you're blue in the face. But as long as there's the gruesome twosome, are they going to have any input until they go? They will have a say, and they'll be saying no, no, no. And as long as they are there, they want removing today or tomorrow at the very latest.
I did say earlier on that because the board's got to be porous, you've got to replace one director with another one as you move along.
It took 2 weeks to get Mickey out of it. Why have we got to wait till December to get rid of Glenn?
Because it's agreed up to stand, and other directors have to go on to the board. It's quite clear. You cannot operate unless you're for it. You can't do anything. You can't.
Let somebody come in there.
But they have to go out on a letter, they have to go out to shareholders for them to be
Hi. How come we've had to go all over to America? Eli. How come we've had to go to America to find investments when we've had 2 local people who are willing to invest? We were both one of the biggest Vale fans, but this. Now, are these people that you're bringing in Vale fans?
Well, but you can say that about most areas, never set foot in that football club.
Answer the question.
Hold on. If you want to go down the trail, and you're talking about Americans, you need major investment. There's major investment out there in the States, there's major investment all over the place. But you can't say that just because they're not Vale supporters or Vale fans, that they won't be good for the football club. You can't say I can't answer for Bill Braff, and I'm not Bill Braff. Hang on.
Yeah, there's a good question just come up there, whether the new investment will require a change of the 24.9% rules. So,
It will not. Absolutely not. We spoke over a period of 5 years, just like Mo was talking about a period of 5 years. And there are other ways that investment can come into that football club that is not by way of shares. For instance, if the new stand is completed, that doesn't have to be coming in the way of shares. It might cost £1 million. Everybody keeps saying, when are you going to finish the stand? You don't have to issue shares to do that. You don't have to issue shares to improve the facilities, the training ground facilities, or anywhere else. All takes money out of the football club.
Do we need that? Players, not training grounds.
Of course you need players, and that's fine. But it's all part and parcel of improvement of the ground. You need commercial income. If you don't get commercial income, you cannot survive in the football world. Too many football clubs are losing millions of pounds. It's no way forward. You need it.
if I could just, what the subset, can I just ask Mike, in regards to the investment, are the council a partner in the new investment? And if not, what is their view over the new investment in relation to the comments they made about potential low charity situation?
No, they're not partners at all. The council stay out of this. You all know the terms of the loan that's out there, so they are not partners in it at all. But of course, the terms of the loan, as Mo knows, are that they have to approve of change, because they have a charge over the stadium and over the assets of the football club. It's as simple as that. Yes.
Can't hear you.
Do you mouth it? Go.
Since you go Lawn Street, you never open your gob in support of anything.
Is it switched on?
Go on.
What I wanted to say is that the last time, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Right, the last time you were here, Mike, yes, I was here, you were called up to the front of the stage, yes, and you are the only one, as far as I'm concerned, who offer any upfront calls, to be honest, and that is what's giving me hope that you will be honest and carry the view. 93% of the sub-shareholders that wanted major change. Now, I'm hoping that you, I'm putting a lot of weight on you, be honest, but what concerns me, that you were part of a regime that you came to this club 3 months ago, I don't know how long it was. You kindly came, you answered questions, but you haven't got a clue, not a clue, about the American investment. You said openly, and people will be here to say I'm correct, you said openly you weren't kept in the loop by the other directors, who I can assume is Mr. Bratt and Mr. Oliver, and at the time Mr. Jackson and Mr. Lee. So you, who are now hopefully going to be our chairman or acting chairman, had not got a clue about an American investment, and now I suspect you were telling us that that's the best thing for the football club, when at that time you've got several millionaires, local men, lining up to put their money into this football club and treat it like dirt. Aye, Mr. Chowdhury at Burnley and what have you. So don't tell me that you've been kept in the loop by your fellow directors. I know Mr. Bratt from past experience as a volunteer at football club for 10 years. There's been no love lost whatsoever between any of you directors, and Mr. Bratt has always said you wanted his job as chairman 3, 4, 5 years ago when you came in 2006, and that was your interest to take over as a chairman. Well, you've actually got your wish now, but I'm hoping that is a benefit to the club, because believe me, this club will not go forward until you still consider the shareholders, and not forgetting the 80% of supporters that are not shareholders for whatever reason. Perhaps they can't afford it, but they do pay season tickets, or just come to the match day and pay their match day fee. But don't forget, it isn't just about shareholders, but don't forget, you are also in a position where you've got a vote of no confidence in you at the election, and that's including your 30% on block votes. You've got a vote still over your head of no confidence, and yet you're telling somebody like Mark Sims what he must do and what he can't say and how he must go about things. He hasn't got a vote of no confidence on him. He was elected legitimately by his supporters. Yes. So that's not money. I also want to ask Mr. Deakin if there's any possibility that Mr. Deakin might become a director, to push the quorum or the quorum, if you're sure, because circumstances don't quite meet the circumstances like we did with Nicky Adams. So, could Mr. Deakin say whether he has any plans himself as the chief executive and also a director?
At this stage, I have no plans to be a director. However, in the future, I may well apply to the shareholders to be voted onto the board. That may happen, but one thing's for certain is that I'll have to fill the criteria of the articles before I can do that. and at this stage, I don't. So, you know, as we sit here today, there's no intention for me to join the board of directors.
Jeff, could I just respond to you? Sorry, could I just respond to you about at the last meeting?